So I normally don't do YouTube videos, but my good friend Dane Griner, who lives too far away from me now to fix his Xbox, wanted to know how to fix it. This is usually an error that happens with most Xboxes, the red ring and stuff like that. Usually it's just a simple fix. This Xbox particularly only does it every once in a while, so even when I turn it on, it actually doesn't go to a red ring all the time. Which leads me to believe it probably is just something to do with the thermal paste. But yeah, like if you have a warranty still, send it in. Opening this up is going to void the warranty. Don't be one of those guys that, like, if you mess it up, blame me or something like that. And yeah, hope this helps. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, yeah, if you can determine what kind of a red ring it is, you can just look up how to determine the error of your 360 and stuff like that, and they'll take you through everything. But yeah, first thing you want to do is just take apart everything. So you want to take out your cords and everything like that. And as we go through, I'll say what all tools and stuff you'll need. I forget. I have a little baggie that I just usually throw all these tools in over here. So they'll be in the description too. So the faceplate, stuff like that will just pop right off. So you can pop it off. Everything else, there's like these little, tiny little hinges that you have to pop off. We'll start on this side. I haven't done this in a while. There's one of them. There's that. Now this part can be a little trickier. I'll just throw this stuff all up here. Pretty much what you have is you have these hinges here, here and here, here. You have to pry open, and then you have to pry the ones in the back. They make a tool for this. I've never really used it. I've never used it. But yeah, just watch what I do and do it. And if you break a little bit of the plastic, it usually still goes together. Depends on how big of a neat freak you are. But for me, as long as it's working, it's working. So. This is the sticker here you're gonna have to void. This is what pretty much is your warranty. Like once you break this, your warranty's done. So actually, let me go get a razor blade. So I'm getting these little plastic things right here and here. I don't even really see it too well. To kind of pop out. And then I already got this one out, but I'll put it back in. Pop that over there. But sometimes what I do is I get another flathead and I kind of make a wedge here. So that when I do the other stuff, they still pop. Alright, so With both these, you might want to dust them out, vacuum them out. I'll do that later. Before you take off the top part, you got to remove this little thing here. Just pops right off. If you want, you can actually pop off this disk drive thing. It just pops right up. And then you want to take out the disk drive. There's a little piece of like metal tape right there you want to pop off. So use extractor knife again. Then you have this little plastic right above the where you'd like turn it on, stuff like that. That just pops off. Alright, so when you take out the disc tray, you just pull up, and there's going to be 2 sets of cords back in there. I don't know if you can see them. But you need to remove it from the motherboard. I actually just remove it from the disk drive. You just go back here. Sometimes they're a little sturdy, that one wasn't. Don't want to pinch the wires, but actually pinch the little plastic. I'm just going to wiggle it out. Use your nails if you need. You just take that out. Alright. Then I take out this little plastic thing for the fans. Usually it gets really dirty. Then I take out the fans. Sometimes you have to actually pry this piece of metal up. Actually, what I'm going to do first is take off the little wires that connect the fan to the board. There's a little pinch thing. You just wiggle it loose. It comes off. Sometimes this little plastic thing gets stuck. There's a little spot for it in the middle. Just pop it out. There's 2 of them. Alright. This is the part, it's up to you. You guys should take the whole board out if you want, or you can just take out these parts. Well, I take that back. You have to take the whole board off. Never mind. So you do that first. Take off this front panel. That'll be a smaller Torx screw. And then grab it on the sides and just pull. There's a little connector right there. Flip it over. And you want to unscrew all the remaining screws. These little X ones. So it might be good to grab it from under real quick, grab one of the thermal, whatchamacallits, the little metal things. That. Just grab it with your middle finger. But then you can actually lift it up by grabbing like the side back here. Try not to like pull too hard on anything. There you go, it should come out. So then, this is where we start getting to the nitty-gritty. But just flip it over. Try to be safe not to push down when I need the board to bend it or anything like that. You can take off these little pads if you want. I'm not going to. But what you got to remove is these X clamps. And you can do that by just kind of going in here, the flathead, and just popping it out. Sometimes it works too if you go in here and you actually twist it. Now, again, hold on to those thermal units, flip it over. Now don't pull really hard, you may have to wiggle a little bit to get them off, but you don't want to pull too hard. Just wiggle it. So here's where the majority of your problems come from with an Xbox, especially the original models, is these right here get overheated, and the stuff called thermal paste, my buddy Andrew Archer calls it heat buddy, melts off. And so what happens when you're playing a game, the system's reading that it's overheating, and so you get a red ring. So there's really nothing wrong with the system, it's just this thermal paste is melted off. Now sometimes it gets too far, where it actually causes your board to get really hot, and some of the solder joints become loose, and you can get like a heat gun and go over it and stuff like that, and that can fix it. I've only had to do that once or twice with the Xbox that I own and the Xbox that a buddy of mine owns, but this is usually the case. So all you're going to do here is you're going to remove this thermal paste. You can use some Goo Gone, rubbing alcohol. Try to keep everything off the actual board itself. But you're just gonna remove this off. I think this is a thing for your nails or something like that. That and toothpicks. They're good for like getting all the extra, getting in the little grooves and stuff like that. I also use fresh naps that you can get from like Taco Bell when you get like your meal or whatever, just to wipe off because they have alcohol in them. But yeah, just do that. Remove this old thermal paste. You know, sometimes it's hard, so you want to like, you know, get some of that Goo Gone and just kind of put it on there with Q-tips or whatever and just let it kind of soak. So this is Goo Gone. Put it on the Q-tip and just wipe it in these areas. By the way, you also want to put it on these as well and remove it from the actual I keep forgetting what these are called. It'll come to me sometime. So you get, let's see if I can get it good. This, as clean as you can get it, or this one right here, as clean as you can get it. This one as well. Get these two pieces clean. Sometimes the thermal paste will actually seep over, and so you want to get it off the board if you can. Don't worry about getting it too wet. You don't want to get too wet and don't want to get anything else. But let it dry off, and then this is the point where I usually vacuum to get like all this nasty dust and stuff off here, just to clean it up before I put it back together. Now, some people would advise not doing this because of static and stuff like that. I've never had a problem with it. So you could just get like a rag and get some rubbing alcohol or whatever, but this way is a lot faster. Or you can get some condensed air and spray it off. I just don't have any, so. Alright, so after that, I usually get a Q-tip and just go around and clear off any of the other extra dust or whatever that's on here. Okay, now once that's all clean, you want to get your thermal paste. I use this stuff. I think I got it at Radio Shack for $8. So, and all you're going to do with this is it usually comes with a little spreader thing. I just do that's not staying there. Anyways, I usually do just a little dab, maybe the size of a pea at the most. You don't need that much, just enough to cover the surface of these. So I'll go like, I don't know if that focuses, but here, I'll put it on here. You get about that much, and you just dab it on these things we cleaned off. So another method you can do is you can actually put it on the actual processor, CPU, and again, like, you don't need too much, maybe the size of a pea at the most. And then you just want to spread it, get a nice coating on it so it covers everything inside. So, when you're done, it'll look like that. I'll try to get close. Not overly caked, just enough to cover each one. And get the sides. It's usually at this point that I'll clean off this just because it gives it a little time to dry. It won't completely dry when I put everything on, but just enough. Okay, keep in mind they don't have to be spotless, just get all the other residue off. I'm gonna vacuum these off too. After this is where you put it all together. Put it back together, I should say. I usually do this one first just so it can sit on it. Now this one's a bit trickier. We're back on. You just put everything else back on. At this point, I'm going to put this little piece back on. If you notice, it has arrows to show you where it's the top. And then it snaps right back on. Actually, at this point, if you want, you can plug it in to see if everything works. All you need to do is just like push the little power button inside here. Then you'll know it's working fine because you got all green lights as opposed to red lights. So all you do is turn it back off. And wait for the fans to stop spinning. Then you can unplug everything. Now that you know that's fixed, you can start screwing everything back down. Actually, put this top cover back on first. Snap that on. Now be careful when you put on this cover. There's like this little aluminum stuff on the sides when it goes on that like kind of holds it on. you don't want to bend it. If you want, you can put on the disc tray button. Open everything first. I'm just cleaning up the dust here. Yeah, it's all done. So, what I used today, I'd used two different types of Torx screws. I used a Flathead screwdriver, a precision screwdriver. I just use that to open and pry stuff, and also with like the X clamps. Some form of nail thing, I think it's for like your cuticles or whatever. But you can use toothpicks instead. I use some of those. Use some Q-tips. You don't need to use Q-tips, anything that can grab crap off stuff. The only thing you really need to get is, like I said, those Torx screws and thermal paste. That's the main thing. I used a fresh nap to wipe away some residue. Some paper towels for crap, and then Goo Gone, and then an X-Acto knife for breaking the seals for like the warranty and stuff. And that should be it. Hope it works for you.